of you when we went through the stuff.
Yeah.
Because when I made your book,
Yeah.
you went through a lot of stories and told me a bunch of stuff I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I've got all that still on videos.
See, Jim and I found out. We looked here, we looked there, we walked cemeteries, we went to Hopkinsville and spent hours looking at their records and stuff, and tape, microtape, micro whatever,
microfiche, yeah,
and stuff. But we noticed, like, we would go somewhere. A lot of times, Mama Helen, Granddad, Mom, Dad, and us kids would go. We'd go somewhere, and like a grocery store down close to Wycliffe, run by a Tally.
Yeah.
John Tally or something like that. We'd go in there, and it's just like a family reunion.
But you didn't understand.
You understand what I'm saying?
And then you found out later that they were connected, or no?
I have never been able
to find that.
Make the connection.
Oh.
But Granddad's mother was a Tally.
Granddaddy John's mother was a Tally.
Was a Tally.
Well, that's it. Okay.
It's in there somewhere. Oh, Betty Sue Tally and I went to school together for 12 years.
Yeah.
We know we're somehow kin to each other, but we can't find
the
connection. She knows she just descended from Zachariah, and Granddad's father-in-law's name was Leander. So it's somewhere beyond Leander and Zachariah.
Now, Leander's the first name?
Yeah.
Leander Tally?
Yeah. And they had a son named Leander, had daughters. They were Welsh. Whatever.
Yeah.
From over. They lived at Pembroke, outside Hopkinsville. There's a community out there called Pembroke. That's where the Williamses and the Bondurants lived, out around Pembroke.
Okay.
Because Jim and I went out. This guy.
That's where Mama Helen and Granddaddy John met.
This guy had a cemetery, one person, on 41A South in Pembroke. The Elizabeth Williams headstone was in the backyard of a house.
Okay.
And that was the Williams Cemetery. It was in stuff. So we go up there and we walk. We knock on doors. Nobody knows anything about a cemetery, a headstone, or anything in somebody's backyard. So, people will just remove them.
Right.
I'm sure she died in 1851.
Right.
And here we was up there in 2005.
Yeah.
But you lose all this kind of stuff. Well, now
150 years later.
Jacksons.
You
got any Jacksons? You got more.
I've got some.
You got more Jacksons than what you know.
Okay. Well, I've got Jacksons.
Mama Helen's grandmother was a Jackson.
Mama Helen's grandmother, so
Skaggs. She married the Bondurant, Pleasant Bondurant.
Okay.
And they're the parents of Mama Helen's mother, who was a Bondurant. Joanne.
Right.
Okay. So now you get back, got all them Jacksons. When I was a kid, there was a Jacksons lived in the house next door, there in Hinkville. That was they were probably second cousins to Dad or something.
Okay.
And she was married to a Lee.
L-E-E?
Yeah,
first name Lee?
No, last name.
Last name
was Lee. Well, they moved. They had this boy named Sonny and another boy named Bud. Sonny was about Jim's age and Bud was about my age, and we played together. Well, they moved. I have found Bud.
You found him?
I found him, and he remembers us.
Uh-huh.
He remembers things like that. I actually found his daughter, our granddaughter, through
another connection.
Yeah, but Ballarat County, the same way over in Tennessee and Dyer County, we are kin to thousands of people.
Yeah.
So,
it's unbelievable.
County, it's amazing.
It blows your mind. Well, that's, and so, when I was telling Seth Michael, when the first time that I went out with Seth Darnell, Mom and Dad asked who he was kin to. And he said, Marshall County, because his mom's family and his dad's family was from South Marshall. His mother's family was from North Marshall, and they ended up married, so he was kin to everybody in South Marshall, everybody in North Marshall.
That's like on Gladys's family, Jared's family.
Yeah.
I made contact with the guy down there. I can't remember the last name now. But in the Civil War, some of them were Northern patriots, and some of them were Southern, and the family was split. And he said it's split till today. As they get close to each other, they fight, argue.
Oh my goodness!
You know and he gave me a list of ones not to put in the tree. That they
Don't
were,
you dare put these people in that tree.
They were Northerners, Northern sympathizers.
They're excommunicated.
And I had a lady write me and tell me to take some out of her family. So yeah, where'd you get these? How'd you know about them? I said, well, I found them on
Ancestry.
Yeah. Well, take so and so and so and so and so and so out. You know, I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now see, my mom's and the Lindermans, there were two brothers, Lindermans, and one fought for the North and one fought for the South. But they never did anything about taking them out of the tree, but they were opposite sides in the Civil War.
I didn't know. We didn't know. Jim knew more than I did because he's 4 years older.
Right.
Heard more scuttlebutt. But I didn't know I didn't know who our great-grandfather was.
Right.
Out.
Right. See, Lynn and Cindy didn't, and I made a great big thing, like a poster, and I brought you one of them.
Yeah.
And I gave that to them because, they didn't know any of that.
All right, now, Judy McGee. You don't know who Judy McGee is. She had the newspaper in the center.
Okay.
Her mom wrote her, used to do Hinkville News. You know, they put, well, so-and-so visits, so-and-so, all that
Yes.
stuff. You know? Well, the Advance and the Yeoman, that was the Advance, and this was the Yeoman and Weekly. Anyway, they went together and they were the Advance Yeoman. She wrote books. The little book.
That's why I've heard that name. I think I've got one. The unpublished.
Yeah.
Is that
a guy
that one?
named Hoare.
Yes, and that was the guy at the grocery store in Blandville.
Ellen Sanford's
grandfather.
Ellen's mother's father. I think so. Anyways,
because I remember from a little child, I remember the Sanford store, but I didn't realize until later that it was called.
We haul hay. Charlie Wynn Sullivan, the nurse, myself, all hay all over Ballard County. We go in there. We go in for lunch. We get a quart of milk, a couple of bologna sandwiches, and a candy bar, maybe a bag of potato chips. That's what we had for lunch. And every time it was close to Wycliffe, that's where we went. And I dated Ellen a couple of times. And her mother talked so Southern, you know. But he wrote all that stuff down, and he was so tight. I read somebody.
Sanford.
He wrote regular lined paper. He put 3 lines of information in. Wrote small. Somebody's house burned. Somebody had a baby. Somebody died. Right. Somebody's barn burned. Somebody got shot. Blah, 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 blah. And she put it in a book. Now she also has a book. Brave Boys, Ballard's Brave Boys.
I have seen that one too. I don't know if I have it, but I think
I don't have it.
Saw it,
but I looked at it at the library.
I have seen it,
and I'm reading about this guy named, I run across it, Williams, Jacob Napoleon
Bondurant.
That's Bondurant. Jacob Anderson.
Okay.
Jake Williams is what it was. Jake Williams.
And that's the picture that we've got. That's the picture
That's my great grandfather.
Yeah.
It told about he was wounded in this and he was wounded there and he was unable to fight anymore, so
he took care of the horses.
The big general put him in charge of his horses. He took care of his horses. You know, well, there it is. I didn't realize that was my great-grandfather.
Right.
Later on, I found out it was.
Yeah.
You know, when I found out what his name was, we didn't know what his name was.
Right. Right. Well, that's why,
So,
I've tried to get.
And I can remember asking Granddaddy what his mother's name was. Now, it's because I know now what her name was and how he said it, Catherine. And just grinned and tears up in his eyes. See, she died. She died when he was
Real young.
real young. And
Like a kid or like a young adult?
Think he went and lived with one of the older sisters. And her husband, the two sisters married two Atherton brothers.
Right.
that
In
went
Texas.
To Texas.
Yep.
Well, another brother went to Texas, Bud, and then a sister named Lucy. Now, I have found Lucy all the way to California, and some of her
Family.
offspring, yeah. So she was married a couple, 3 times. I mean, this is kind of stuff that
It's crazy.
now in here,